of the bill, our title fights. And Frank Warren alongside me, of course, is the promoter. Last fights before Christmas, and it promises to be another terrific show, Frank.
It does. We've got some. We've got, I think, a great main event, great support bouts, real competitive fights, and you just had a preview of some of those at the little conference that John just hosted. But these fights, every one of these are going to be a good fight, and I'm looking forward to it. And I think we're going to give the fans some value for money.
Definitely. We've got the main event, which is Daniel Dubois against the colourful character to my left, Mr. Fujimoto, who suffered just one reverse in his career from Tokyo, ranked number 13 by the WBA. We'll be talking about that contest coming up shortly, which is our main event, but before then, final eliminator for the WBO middleweight title, Liam Williams against Atlantez Fox, who's here on my far left, who I think he stands around about 6'4". I don't think there's too many taller middleweights than that. Frank, so much at stake here for the winner, potential world title fight in 2020.
Well, the winner of this fight will get Andrade. Andrade's fighting, I think, in January. Yeah. Whoever wins this will be in with him. And Atlantez is a quality operator, as you say, 6'4", southpaw. He obviously fancies the job. He's coming to the UK and coming to Liam's backyard, but I've got every confidence in Liam. You know, obviously Liam's with us, and he's been craving for a fight at this weight, a meaningful fight. We've delivered it to him. It's not like he hasn't been in a position where he's fought for world titles before, but he seems to be much, much more comfortable at middleweight, and I think we've got a real good fight on our hands with these two guys.
That's some interesting things to say about each other. Let's start with Atlantez. Comes from Maryland, up at Marlborough, is that right?
Yes, sir.
And I mentioned that you're 6'4". Have you ever fought a middleweight who's taller than you?
No, I never fought anybody anywhere near my height. I'm actually 6'5", too.
6'5"?
Yeah.
I do apologise.
No, that's fine.
And the one reverse you had was against Demetrius.
Right.
Tell us what happened there.
So in that fight, I tore my labrum and my rotator cuff, and then I continued to throw my arm and keep using my hand, and I tore my bicep in my left arm and a ligament in my elbow on my left arm. So I fought from round 1 to round 12 with several injuries in my left arm. We had to have surgery, and I sat out about a year. This is my fourth fight, or this will be my fourth fight back. Hopefully we can make it to the fight. You know, they're doing they're springing up some things on me. Double wins. We don't do that back in the States, so hopefully we can make it there.
Liam, I hope you don't mind me quoting this. He described you as a skinny little rat.
Yeah, that's Master Splinter, Sam.
Did you? How did you react when you saw that?
That's the only reaction, man. It was funny to me at first, but so I told him to call me Master Splinter. That's the rat from Ninja Turtles. But I mean, he sees me now. I don't like a skinny rat at all right now.
How much have you seen of Liam? How much have you seen of him as a fighter?
I've watched several fights of him. I've been studying. I don't take Liam lightly at all. No disrespect to any of the other fighters, but our fight is probably the best fight on the card. And like I said, I watched him, and I think I don't think this is the guy to beat me. I said it in several interviews. I don't think this is the guy to beat me.
He started to rack up wins in spectacular fashion. His last one, just 4 minutes 51 seconds against a bloke who'd never been stopped before. He seems to have found something a little bit special in recent fights.
He's never found me in the ring. I'm across the ring from now. It's not going to be a stoppage now.
Well, let's hear from Liam. What have you found out about this fellow from watching him? What do you expect?
I really believe he is actually a quality fighter. Obviously, I've said things and, so on, but he's a quality fighter. He's, got obvious advantages over me, which height, reach, whatever, it doesn't really matter. But listen, he's good. He's a good boxer. He's obviously going to come and keep it long, but I'm just going to tear through him.
You think it'll be another stoppage?
Yeah, well, 100%.
So much at stake here. You know, I mean, Frank's promised you the world title shot. If it's in your hands, you know, this is a huge night for you.
Yeah, exactly. You know, a couple of ups and downs, a couple of bad performances. I had losses back a couple of years ago, and I've come on a long way from them. I got stopped at the final hurdle with the Liam Smith loss, and I'm not going to allow that to happen again. So I'm fully prepared, and whether it's Atlantez, Fox, or anyone else in my way, I don't believe they're going to stop me.
It's Atlantez.
I don't really care. Your name is irrelevant. Shit name, I know,
You don't get your ass.
still, shut up when I'm speaking.
That's it.
Be quiet when I'm speaking. So whether it's him or anyone else, doesn't matter to me. I'm motivated, and I fully believe I'm gonna tear through anyone who they put in front of me right now.
How much of an improved fighter do you think you are since you switched to Sheffield?
I believe I've come on a long way. Dominic Ingle's done very good things for me in terms of my training, and even the way I approach situations, and mentally. But he's done a lot for me, and I had a good trainer before in Guy Lockett, and we still remain friends. But I needed to take that next step, and for me a big thing was moving away from home, which I fully dedicate myself now, whereas before I was cutting corners and I wasn't getting the correct sleep, the correct rest. So now everything's bang on, and I've got no excuses, so I'm just looking forward to seeing the level I can reach, when I'm performing at my best.
So you've got the fellow here right now. Any particular message for him? What he can expect on Saturday night?
No, I just think he's going to be in for a tough night. I'm sure he thinks the same about me. Being fighters, that's the way we're built. But it's going to be a good fight. I personally think we should be top of the bill. No disrespect to Daniel or the other fellow over there.
Who do you think you are? What's his name? No, he thinks he's Derek Chisora. No, I'm joking.
Listen, jokes aside, I think we should be the main fight, because
it's a great fight.
Simply, it's going to be a very, very good fight.
Great fight.
And it's probably going to last about 3 rounds. Daniel's only going to last probably 1 or 2. So, our fighters don't want to watch. So that's the only reason why I think, because you want to see more of a fight as a main event. Daniel's probably going to chin this guy in 1, so we'll see.
Have you ever been in a fight against a fellow as tall as him? 6'5"?
No, not even close, to be honest with you, but I had some good sparring partners and stuff, so...
Sparring ain't fighting, man. Sparring ain't fighting.
Did I say it was a fight?
No.
I'm just saying I had some good sparring partners. Be quiet.
Sparring ain't fighting, man.
Yeah, so I had some good sparring partners. Been working on a few things. He's got a good jab, he's got a long reach, but we've been working on, getting inside the jab, and as soon as I clip him on the chin a couple of times, he's probably going to go into shell anyway.
Never that, man.
So I think I'm just going to...
Big boy stuff here, man.
He's just going to be a heavy bag. I'm just going to pound the life out of him.
Let me tell you something. You do the business on this, you will be top of the bill next time, I promise you. 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. I've just said it. Yeah.
Come on. You see me top of the bill next
do
time.
the business.
Atlantez, he talks
He's
about...
going home empty-handed, man. He's going home empty-handed. This Christmas is going to be...
That's what we like, fighting talk. And that's what it's all about. That's what you two guys are. Two fighters. And I know you're going to put on a great performance. A great Christmas box for the fans. They're going to see a fantastic fight.
And you're more than somebody who just likes to keep somebody at range and use that long reach on you. I mean, I've watched a bit of you in action, and you can fight up close pretty effectively as well.
Absolutely. I control the fight at whatever distance I want to.
So he's underestimating him, do you think?
Definitely underestimating me. Man,
If he tries standing and banging on me, he's going to go sleep earlier than he's going to go sleep already, even if he keeps it long.
I'm going to box my ass off. And what's going to happen is...
Come out fighting and we see what happens.
I'm going to come up victorious. That's it. I'm coming out victorious. You don't have the skill set. I'm better than you. I'm bigger than you. I'm sharper than you. I'm smarter than you. There's nothing you can do in there to beat me.
speech.
Well, there we are. Beautifully set up. Couldn't say it better yourself, could you, Frank?
Can't wait for Saturday. Let's get it on. Let's see it. And all the fans can't wait to see it on.
Really good fight, that one. Liam Williams against Atlantez Fox. It's final eliminator for the WBO middleweight title. And as you hear from both of them, they both very much fancy their chances. Now, main event. Oh, before then, we ought to hear from Tommy, shouldn't we? Who's joined us in action after his forays in Love Island. And I should imagine you're looking forward massively to getting back as a boxer, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely. I've had a good summer. It's been a bit different, but you know, it is what it is. In the day, my young lad, when he got put to me at first, I just thought, do you know what? I'm 20. I was 19 at the time. I thought, what's the rush? There's no rush at all. So taking a few months out isn't really going to do me the most harm, and it's something that I wanted to do. So I went on and did it, and it's paid off massively. But I just don't want everyone to forget what I actually did before that. You know, I'm not a reality TV person. Yeah, I did it for a couple of months. Yeah, I've done a few things to spin off 100%. But you know, other than that, I'm a boxer. That's what I've been doing my whole life. I've been training ever since I've been small, sparring in the gyms, doing whatever I can. And I don't regard myself as anybody when I'm sat on this table. You know, I see posts up there. If it was left my way, I shouldn't even be on that wall because I've done nothing as a boxer. I've had 2 fights, I've acclaimed nothing, so I forget about all that other stuff. It's not important.
All that other stuff that must have changed life. I mean, for a start, you've got a partner now, you've got a girlfriend who is still with them, like everybody else, I think, who was in the programme. So that's been a success. But the way the public, you know, they must be coming up to you and recognising you on the street.
Yeah, it's a bit different when you walk down the street, of course, but you know, when you boil it down, does it really mean anything? Is it really going to change my life that much if somebody asks me for a picture or an autograph or something like that? It's not really important, is it? Like, the only thing I want in life is to be a world champion. I'm not interested in anything else. Money, fame, it doesn't interest me. And you can look back to when I was a child getting interviewed at 14, 15. I'm the same man that I was back then.
Frank, it's an attitude, I'm sure, which you're delighted to hear.
Well, it is. You know, there's a lot of pressure on Tommy.
Yeah.
And normally a guy's had only 2 fights on the card. He's down the card and nobody really, I'm not doing disrespect, pays that much attention. It's about learning his trade and so forth. But the spotlight's on him, so he's got to go and perform. You know, he's got, 2.93 million Instagram followers, so he's a very popular guy. Well liked. I think he was the 4th highest Googled person in the UK this year. So he's got a lot of things going for him.
I'm one of them.
But more important, we're getting you on Craigie Island. But we got the thing about Tommy is that, you know, he does want to be a boxer. He comes from fighting stock. He's come from a fighting family, and at the end of the day, he's got a great platform now to move forward. What's not going to happen? He's not going to be rushed.
No,
that ain't happening. You know, I'm not letting that happen. He's got to learn his trade, his craft, and that's what he'll do. And hopefully, he can emulate what his brother's done and other members of his family, and go on and win a world title.
We saw a little bit on YouTube of you in the ring with Tyson.
Yes, done a little bit of sparring with Tyson. I can be the first one to say that was absolutely pointless. Never landed a shot. Never even looked like landing a shot. But listen, it's experience in it. He's the best in the world for a reason, and that's the reason why. You know, it's just amazing, honestly. There's no one better to spar with, is it? Because I'm learning everything I could possibly learn off him. You know, when I was small, 8, 9, we was training in Warrington, I remember it like it's the other day. You know, he was teaching me how to defend body shots, all sort of stuff, and it's just stuff that sticks with you. So, of course, there's no better person to spar with, is he?
Your ambition, you talked about it, to be a world champion. Are you convinced in your heart that you have the capability of learning and progressing to that level?
Yeah, 1,000,000%. I would not be sat here right now if I didn't believe I could be a world champion. Believe me when I say that. Boxing's too hard of a game to tip and tap at. You can't do it. You've got to be all or nothing. And that's just the way I think about everything. You know, of course, I will be a world champion in the future. I'm 20 years old. There's no rush at all. Baby.
I'm sure those 2.9 million Instagram followers, is that the right figure?
Yeah.
You'll have had a fair few messages of support, won't you?
Yeah, definitely. I just want to be, so grateful to all the fans that have come to support me and the rest of the boys on the card. It's going to be a great night of boxing, and it's just going to be an early Christmas present for everybody, isn't it?
Looking forward to it hugely, and good luck, and let's hope 2020 treats you well as well. That's Tommy Fury, who's going to be returning to the ring for his third professional appearance. And our main event, Daniel Dubois against Kyotaro Fujimoto, who's sitting to my left. Thoughts on the hire, Frank?
He's obviously an Arsenal fan. There's no doubt about that. Mind you, he wants to be an Arsenal fan today. What about it? Look, for Daniel, this is a chance for him to get his WBA ranking. He's also ranked now in the WBO. He's had, was it 21-1?
Yeah.
And he lost that fight, I think it was 8 years ago. He comes from a fighting background. He was a kickboxer. I think he was a world champion as a kickboxer. I'm sure he was. And he's game. He's coming to fight in as I always say, in the other guy's backyard. Daniel's got to be top of his game. He can't take anything for granted. But this is all about Daniel. He's had a busy year. He wants to go out on a bang, literally on a bang, and do the business in here, set himself up for 2020. All the big guys are fighting each other. Next year you've got Anthony Joshua regained his title. He's got 2 mandatories on him. Tyson's fighting in February against Deontay Wilder, and they may have another fight again in the summer. So when that all settles, the dust all settles, these fellas are all going to have a mandatory. Maybe one of the titles will be freed up. It's Daniel's job to win on Saturday, to get him moving next year, get him in position by sort of October, that he's in a mandatory position to fight for a world title.
So you really think that the world title could be there?
That's where we're at. And I'm going to tell you something, and some people may laugh about it. If I could make him an Anthony Joshua today, I would make it.
You're so confident?
I'm so confident. Yeah, I would make that fight today. And people say, it's too soon. I would make it. I know I'd have my money on. But he's got to still learn. Those fights obviously are not available. But he's got to learn. He is a tremendous fighter. He's tremendous talent. And obviously this man here to my left, Kyotaro, he fancies the job big time. He's a big one, isn't he, for a Japanese guy? There's no doubt about that. And we're going to see what happens.
Can you ask Kyotaro his thoughts? He's going to have to speak to us through a translator, but can you ask him for his thoughts on this fight and how he thinks he can win it?
Yes, sir. Just before we begin, Kyotaro would like to acknowledge the hospitality of the promoter, Mr. Frank Warren, and to reciprocate with a small gift from Japan, this bottle of sake.
Thank you very much. It's really kind. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. If I'm not away in tomorrow, you know why. It's his fault.
So thoughts on the fight?
そうですね、このようなビッグチャンスをまずは、すごく嬉しく思いますし、このようなチャンスがそうたくさん来ると思わないんで、まずはそうチャンスに関しては、嬉しくて、あとは勝ったらもっと嬉しいので、2つとも何ですか、受けて嬉しくて、勝って嬉しい、2つ嬉しいが欲しいです。
First, I just want to express how happy I am to have this big chance. Such a big chance with these 2 belts on the line. Doesn't come around very often. So when I win, I'm going to be even happier on Saturday night.
How much interest is there back home in Japan?
日本でどれぐらい興味が持ってますか？
日本人、そうですね、日本人はやっぱり軽い階級の選手がすごく人気ありますし、ヘビー級が少ないので、これで勝つようなことがあって、もっと上行ければ、もっとすごく注目されるので、まずは勝たないと日本人は注目してくれない、そういう国です。
As you know, we have a lot of excellent boxers in the lower weights in Japan, but there aren't many heavyweights to speak of. So I really want to make history here and through my performance on Saturday night, create more interest in the heavyweight division in Japan.
Kyotaro has been preparing for this over in the United States, in Los Angeles, because obviously there aren't too many heavyweight sparring options available back home in Japan. How have preparations gone? How much has he been able to learn?
その練習はどうでしたか？そうですね。習いました。
そうですね、やっぱロサンゼルス、やっぱ日本だとね、そういうなかなか大きい選手がいない中で、アメリカに行ってロサンゼルスで、練習できたのはすごくいいことだったし、それで強くなったので、すごく良かったと思います。
なんか習ったことある？
やっぱりスパーリングして、やっぱ大きい選手とのやっぱりこう、なんですかこう、パワーもそうだし、全てが良かったです。はい。
Well, as you said, there just aren't many people for me to work with, to spar with in Japan. So it's been a really enriching and important experience for me, especially to go rounds with these bigger guys of like Daniel's size, and the power that they have to experience that has been a good learning experience for me.
Well, you heard Liam Williams saying that this fight, in his opinion, his fight was going to finish inside 3 rounds, that this could finish inside 2 rounds. Obviously he thinks that Daniel's going to win. What do you say about that?
ダニエルが言ってないけど、はしごの人が俺の試合3ラウンドまで行く。でも京太郎とデュボアの試合が2ラウンドまでじゃないかな。どう思いますか？
そう、そう言われてましたけど、僕は英語わからないので、ちょうど良かったかなと思います。はい。
Well, that's what my translator told me, but I don't understand English, so I guess that's a good thing.
Daniel, you hear what he says, and I've seen some of the colourful quotes in the run-up to this, and he's saying that you've underestimated him, that you're looking past him.
Not at all. Every fight I prepare for is a World Championship fight, and never overlook or underestimate anyone.
How much have you been able to see? Have you studied him? The clips available on YouTube? Have you looked at him? Have you looked at him closely?
Not really. I've left that up to my coach and everyone else. I've been hard at work in the gym and sparring and just doing what I've done all year round. I've been active and busy, so I'm ready to jump straight in.
2019's been a great year for you, hasn't it? Kojanu, Richard Larty, the win against Nathan Gorman, which I don't really think perhaps really was appreciated for being quite the quality performance that it really was, because a lot of people, Boxing News included, tipped Nathan to win that one, and you showed a great deal in that fight of boxing ability as well as just raw power. And then Ebenezer Tete last time out, there was plenty of raw power there, took him out in 130 seconds. It's been quite a year, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been an amazing year, so we're just moving on past this one and then on to an even better one next year.
How excited are you when you hear your promoter Frank talk about the possibilities which are there in the future and really in the not too far distant future?
No, I'm young, I'm ready to go. I've a lot of ability and I'm ready to be pushed on now. It's just a matter of getting the right fights and, as Frank said, mapping out the route through mandatories and stuff like that. But getting in there.
Frank says he put you in against Anthony Joshua tomorrow. Would you like to get in there against somebody of that stature?
Definitely. This is what I've been dreaming of since the day I started boxing, being in massive fights and big fights and coming through them and winning them.
Few people here perhaps don't realise he was named, Daniel was named British Boxing's Young Boxer of the Year by the Boxing Writers Club, which is a prestigious award. Some great names have won it in the past, many of whom have gone on to be world champions, Frank.
They have, and I'm confident and I hope that Daniel can emulate what they've done.
Your sister as well recently got the award as Junior Sports Person of the Year with the BBC. I should imagine you're pretty proud of Caroline as well.
Yeah, amazing year she's had as well. She's 14-0, undefeated amateur, and I think she's going to go on to do amazing things in the sport of boxing, not just for women's boxing, but boxing as a whole, and become a legend.
And you've got a kid brother who can fight a bit as well.
Yeah.
It's in the blood, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's in the blood. So what can we look forward to on Saturday night? You've got Kyotaro right here now. tell him what he can expect on Saturday night.
Just as before, another devastating finish and another good performance.
Well, we look forward to seeing you, Daniel. The buzz around boxing about your progression now is really growing, and it's a throwback to he's a throwback to some of our great boxing names of the past, and there's a real buzz about him, isn't there?
There certainly is, and everybody I speak to around the world, in boxing, they all know who Daniel is, but Saturday, this guy's a potential banana skin, and we got to make sure, he's got to make sure that he doesn't slip. He's got to keep focusing like he does. He's got tremendous attitude, tremendous work ethic. He's in the gym all the time, wants to learn, he spars and trains. He's done a brilliant job over there, Martin Baz. He's done a brilliant job together. They're a great team, and that's got to translate into a fantastic performance on Saturday.
He's got where he was on learning really as a pro, was it? 7 amateur fights, Daniel?
7 senior bouts.
Yeah. I mean, that's a remarkable rate of progression.
It's a remarkable rate, and he is where he is. But now he's moving up, and it's another title that he's fighting for on Saturday, and he's got to set it up for next year. It's got this is a big moment for him. As you say, it's the fight before Christmas. We don't want it to be the fight before Christmas. We've got to make sure he delivers it and does the business.
Any questions from the floor? Anybody want to ask any questions of the guys up here?
Just question for Atlantez Fox. So Liam Williams has been calling you a few names in the build-up.
Right.
You're speaking then, telling you to shut up. Do you feel disrespected by Liam Williams?
I don't feel any type of way about Liam Williams. I mean, he has to gas himself up for this fight, man. It took them long enough to take this fight as it is, you know what I'm saying? So he has to make sure he makes himself angry. I mean, as he said in some interviews, he has to make himself angry at me and whatnot. It is what it is, man. A name, a skinny rat or what have you, it doesn't matter to me.
Question to Liam then, do you feel you had to make yourself angry to get up for fighting Atlantez Fox?
Not at all, to be honest with you, because anybody who knows me knows I'm a pretty angry guy anyway.
Mr. Angry.
So it is what it is. That's just my way, Like I say, I don't need to get myself angry for anyone really, but it is what it is. It's getting smashed, isn't he?
Any more for any more?
We're all done?
Right, well, we'll be doing one-on-one interviews. They're all available, and tickets also are still just about available.
There's a few tickets left.